Because that's what everybody asked me the other day. Stephanie, what did you do? They look at me mean face. I'm like, I didn't do nothing. I'm a little puppy dog running away.
We're back on it. We're back
Give me
on
my
air
kibble.
now
I'm sorry.
after my computer just completely went black screen on us there, just in the middle of all that. So we're back now.
All right.
You probably missed about 5 minutes of whatever they were talking about.
But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what we're talking about. That was private conversation.
It's okay. I'll protect you, Stephanie.
Hey, I will call you guys. I'll call you guys back again. Let's do this in like 2 weeks from now. We should do this after training camp, after preseason.
Yeah, that sounds great. We got some August dates in September open.
Look, and the Patriots are coming here to do actually game with us, practice with us. So. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about after the practice. I'm going to try to go to that practice. That camp. So I'll let you guys know. Sure. All right, cool. It's so nice to meet y'all. Thank you so much for having me on.
Nice to meet you too, Steph. We appreciate your time.
All right. Take care, guys.
You too.
Bye.
All right. Bye. Bye.
All right there. Yeah, that was just
what a southern firecracker.
Yes, she is. She's got some pep in that step.
Some pizzazz.
So
no, I love it, man.
What was going on now when we literally blacked out there? What was going on?
She actually said she doesn't work. She never worked for Good Morning Football, but she got permission from Good Morning Football to use the hashtag. She said Nate Burleson is a huge mentor of hers, and actually went ahead and was giving her confidence and building her confidence up to do the sports talk, to do the sports podcasting like we do. And she asked if we knew Adam Rank, and I'm like, yeah, I know Adam Rank. I know of him. He's a Bears fan, but he puts out good stuff. And I said, you know what? We should have some of those guys on, Nate or Adam. And she went ahead and said that she said she would try and get them on, and that'd actually be fun. So I'm like, all right, yeah, we'll get them on. We can talk some Bears Packers before the NFL. And
wouldn't that be fun now? I mean, geez, now. Hey,
Adam's a good sport, though. He actually rags on his Bears more than he helps them.
Oh, no. It's all in good fun on this show. No, we have nothing but fun on this show. The only thing is that what sucks is that when we blacked out, I was working up. She was kind of giving me an opening. I was going to ask her why she didn't like Matt LaFleur so much and try to and get her, because she mentioned that at the beginning when he first got her on the show. So I was going to try to ask her that and hopefully get her thoughts on that. So I'll have to ask her that the next time we get her on.
Oh, yeah, definitely. She said she wants to come on, too, in a couple weeks after when the Patriots and the Tennessee Titans play in their training camp, when they play each other in training camp and their preseason game. And I told her, yeah, we'll definitely work something out. So, I mean, she looks like she wants to come back on, and I think she will have a blast. I mean, she didn't like coming on the first time.
Yeah, you know what? We had something on Twitter, Dave. I'll let you bring it up because I did say we were going to try to talk to it, and we didn't get to it before because we had to get to Stephanie. So we might as well talk about it now so we can actually finish out the show here and move on since we had to re-up on our freaking air there completely. And here's the thing. My computer shuts down, right? And then
She called you Mr. Technical Difficulty.
I know. I've had a bad run lately, like the last 2 weeks with this computer. So Are you running like an IBM desktop from 1990? No, but it's like 5 years old. Like you said, it might as well be 100 years old at this point. And
that's a decade old in the electronics world.
Oh God! I'm gonna buy a new one this fall when I get paid from putting tents up at the market. Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and buy you a new laptop for Christmas. That's what I'm gonna do.
I'm a broke guy. I make $15,000 a year, dude. Like, come on. Everything I buy is
okay.
cash.
I'll still eat your breakfast.
I'm poor. I cook my own food, thank you.
Me too. I think you act like I have a butler. What the hell was that?
You do. It's called your wife. Your wife obviously takes care of you.
Well, yeah. I mean, she's also German moral values that
I don't have to clean. That's my thing. I don't clean well enough, so my wife cleans.
No, I appreciate my wife more than anything.
I don't have to clean. She does all the cleaning. And
I actually got yelled at not to do the laundry, Jay.
See, no, I prefer to do the laundry.
Oh, no, I tried to. She yelled at me. She goes, honey, I really appreciate your effort to try and do chores, but please don't ever fold a damn piece of laundry again. I'm like, okay.
every time I clean, we end up in an argument because she goes back over and does the stuff I already did, and I feel like, what do you like? She doesn't actually say anything to me. She just re-cleans, and it's like, why did I clean it in the first place?
So what's the thing you wanted to go ahead and bring it up on Twitter that you saw earlier?
It was, remember I said that and you had commented on our account about Kenny Clark being there and why Rashawn Gary and
oh yeah, about the whole thing with Mitch Trubisky. Yeah, go ahead, start us off. I want to hear what you want to say.
Well, you got to start because I don't know where it even started from. I just commented on the comments you commented on.
So at 82 Pack fan started saying Packers will have to hit the Bears early with screens to take away that pass rush. They will also have to keep Trubisky from converting third and longs with his feet. I said, why do you think we went and got Darius Smith, Preston Smith, Rashawn Gary? They hold the edges and Clark will hold the middle. It prevents a pocket from breaking on almost any side and the fact it will collapse quicker. So I don't see Mitch outrunning Darius, Rashawn, Kenny, or Preston. I don't see him outrunning any of them because of the fact of the length of them, and two, they're pretty damn athletic, and that's one reason why Pettin built this front is so they can track down the running backs, so they can go ahead and track down the quarterbacks. Or to track down the screens as well to the wide receivers. I watched Kenny Clark a couple of years ago track down Ezekiel Elliott from behind. Do you know how fast you have to be to track down Zeke? Especially as a defensive tackle, Kenny Clark did that.
Why are Bears fans acting as if they have the same team they had last year? The biggest piece of their defense is gone.
The mastermind. He's on right now on TV.
The guy, because let's be real here. As great as Khalil Mack is, and I wanted Khalil Mack bad, right? Because I thought him and Pettin.
So did I. I wanted that trade.
That'd be a miracle pairing. Before Khalil Mack was with Vic Fangio, he was an All-Pro at two different positions, but he really didn't. He didn't impact the overall defense in Oakland to win games the way he was able to take that defense over the top last year, and a lot of that had to do with the way he was used and what they asked him to do. They asked him. Fangio is kind of like Pettin. They like versatility, but if they know a guy excels at something, they're going to put him in that position in many different places.
That's the whole purpose of that, yeah.
Right.
Do what they're good at.
To do what they're good at. I can't say the same thing about their new their new defensive coordinator in Pagano.
Chuck Pagano is respectable, but
he's
hasn't
an
had
above-average defensive coordinator at best. Sorry, folks.
But he hasn't had
He's a great guy, though.
He hasn't had a top 10 defense since 2011. It's been 8 years. His Colts defenses weren't that good at all. Like, they didn't even bust the top 16, the top half of the league. Yeah, people can say, oh, they didn't have talent. Okay, well, isn't that his job as head coach to help report talent to the GM?
Mike Patton had who to work with at the end of the
But that's exactly the point. That's a good argument, right there. And though also, too, you downgrade from Amos to HaHa, and HaHa is a free safety. You put a free safety in a strong safety spot in his worst ability. HaHa cannot tackle, and you put him in a strong safety spot in the box, he's going to get eaten alive. And then on top of that, you take Buster Skrine, who you go ahead and replace for Callahan. Callahan was rated as the number one nickel cornerback last year in the slot, and he followed Fangio to Denver. And now you replace a guy with, mind you, he has a 124.8 passer rating given up in the slot. That is Buster Skrine. They paid $4.5 million for. So you downgrade at two positions. You lose your defensive coordinator and a different calling style. Fangio does, yes, he lets the line rush, but he has linebackers able to drop in coverage. He played a lot of zone last year, and it took away a lot of stuff Rodgers was able to do in that second matchup. As you go look at it, Fangio is a Rodgers whisperer. He did it when he was with San Fran, too, as a defensive coordinator, Jay. Now you go to Pagano, which Rodgers is, and then Rodgers has had success against Pagano defenses.
Well, speaking of that, since you keep bringing up Rodgers, that's going to come to my next thing I wanted to talk about. And that goes
But I didn't get to talk bad about Mitch.
That's okay. We don't need to talk bad about Mitch. We're going to let Mitch's play decipher how people start to...
He threw another interception in training camp today. That makes like 5 days consecutive.
Why do you have to be so disparaging mean all the time, though, Dave? Like, he's above average, and he's not what...
Because I'm a big, mean bear.
Terrible. I know. Dancing bears are always angry. Okay, so this brings me back to Monday.
Thank you.
With Bucky Brooks and this article that...
Oh, God, yeah.
So... Bucky Brooks basically came out and wrote an article and said that Aaron Rodgers is no longer a top 5 quarterback. We're going to give it a listen right now.
Headline of your story, Bucky, was Aaron Rodgers overrated. I think the story's overrated, but I'll let
No, I mean, look, I'm just doing what I learned from the Jason Whitlock School of Storytelling. Like, you tell it as it is. Like, you can't be emotional and give people Lifetime Achievement Awards. If we're talking about here and now, we have to do it based off what Aaron Rodgers did when we last saw him. Look, 500 quarterback.
Where should he be ranked?
He should be right at the edge of the top 5. Yeah, right there with Andrew Luck.
Your top 5
right there with Andrew Luck. Like, I got Pat Mahomes, Phillip Rivers, Drew Brees, Tom Brady. I have Russell Wilson. We can't dispute any of those guys and what they did the last time we saw them trot out. Aaron Rodgers and Andrew Luck, they can battle it out. But last year, 25th in touchdown pass, he's 12. Completion percentage, 62.
Hurt, right?
And look, you walk on the field, no one cares.
No one
cares.
That's true.
Like, once you walk out there, no one cares. And so for the last few years, he's been this same quarterback that we've seen. And everyone is giving him every excuse. Oh, it's the coach. The coach doesn't call the right plays. Oh, the defense doesn't get right. Well, at some point, why are we paying him $30 million? If you're getting the biggest slice of the pie, you got to make everyone else better. Let's see him elevate some others.
Look, let me give him a little history of our relationship. I used to call this man the Rosetta Stone of football because he translates the game like none other. When you broke down the All-22 film, a lot of people are not privy to knowing what the All-22 is. There's no voices on there, no commentary. You just get to see the entire field. And I love how you said Aaron Rodgers has gotten to a place where he wants to take the three-point shot, not the layup. And a Drew Brees, a Tom Brady will take those short dump-offs, which creates the angles, which sets up the defense, which allows you for those big plays. Aaron Rodgers is overrated right now if you're saying he's the best quarterback in the game. And if you notice, every time people talk about Aaron Rodgers, they qualify it. Most talented quarterback in the game. I hear that more than not. And secondly, the numbers support it. You didn't give a hot take. You gave a cold look, a counterintuitive look to a story that says he's the best. But in reality, he's still tier 1, but bottom tier 1. Let's just be real about it. In his last 25 starts, which is over 2 seasons, with his injuries, 2 seasons of work, 19 other quarterbacks have a higher win percentage than Aaron Rodgers. Now, 5, I give you. 10, okay. 19? So what's starting to happen is we get into what's the reason. We could say, it's the organization. We've heard that. It's the coaches. We've heard that. Young receiving corps. Heard that. No running game. Heard that. No defense. Heard that. And then there are other players who, despite having those same issues, will be a franchise quarterback and elevate their team.
Here's why I disagree with overrated. Because I think if there were a draft, NFL general managers drafted quarterbacks for this year only, Pat Mahomes would go number 1,
okay,
and Aaron Rodgers would go number 2.
Damn.
And so if all they've overrated him is by 1, that's not overrated. That's a disagreement.
At 35, he would go 2?
This year.
At 35, he would go 2 with his injury concerns. We know everything about him.
If you had to bet your life, and again, other guys may outperform him, but I think Pat Mahomes would go number 1, and Rodgers would go. Who's going number 2 ahead of him? Russell Wilson, maybe.
Okay, well, the fact that he's going to just keep going on and on and on there, Dave, about that. And he even goes as far later in that clip to compare Westbrook to Rodgers, because recently, because Rodgers, and then because they go on, they're like, well, Rodgers has won a ring and MVPs and all, like, and he's like, well, no, but recently, he hasn't won anything recently. It's sickening because Bucky Brooks is a highly intelligent guy, and he's a guy that when I was,
Doesn't sound like it after today.
No, it doesn't. Not after those comments. And it kind of makes me laugh because it brings us to our next little clip where Bucky Brooks did such a good job at, how would